Continuing coverage now, the 18-year-old Minneapolis man accused of crashing a stolen vehicle near Matt's Bar, killing 3 people and injuring others, made his initial appearance in court this afternoon. KARE 11's Sharon Yu was there. She joins us from our newsroom with the latest. Sharon?
Randy, they made an update to the charges this afternoon. On top of the 3 vehicular homicide charges Daquan Hodge was already facing, they added 3 more felony fleeing a peace officer charges to his record.
All three are dead?
It was a weekend crash that left Rob Goodsell speechless.
I mean, these kids in a stolen car, what?
Goodsell says he's in Bullhead City, Arizona today, taking care of paperwork for his sister and his brother-in-law, lives lost in the crash.
Kenny was a Marine, so we have to get his military paperwork for a military burial out at Fort Snelling, and we have to search, for will and legal papers.
At the initial hearing for 18-year-old Daquan Hodge that Goodsell could not attend, the prosecutor outlined the severity of the charges that Hodge was facing. He says he reviewed the video from the squad cars and the State Patrol helicopter and said Hodge's driving was reckless. The probable cause statement shows the helicopter, quote, could not even call out the locations of the cross streets because the vehicle was traveling so fast. The prosecutor emphasized the other teen passengers in Hodge's vehicle did not walk away unharmed and that the rear middle passenger with the facial injuries might end up losing his left eye. Hodge, who appeared before the judge with a broken arm himself, was represented by a public defender who described Hodge as a senior at Washburn High School and a low flight risk.
The judge set Hodge's bail at $200,000 as long as Hodge follows the conditions set. Hodge's family members were at the appearance but declined to comment. Randy?
All right. Thank you, Sharon.